Good day, everyone. It is Caitlin.
And I'm Rhett.
And I make an 1860 shirt today for my husband. Men's shirt today, because I said last time that the next time I make a men's shirt, I would do it myself to see if I can do it, because my husband did a lot of the work last time. So I took that shirt that we made, and I took a lot of measurements off it, because shirts are just basically rectangles and, well, not even squares. They're basically just all rectangles, which does make cutting a little bit easier. So I have exactly 2 yards of this fabric. What I've done first is I know that for the sleeves I need them 20 inches long. The collar needs to be 20 inches long, so I cut off 20 inches here, and whatever's left over here, which should be around 24 inches, 23 inches, it's a little narrow. That's going to be the rest of the shirt. And then I took the 2 yards, cut it in half this way, so that I'll have two, a front and a back. And this is a tiny little plaid, so I'm actually using it to cut my stuff straight. Alright, so I need a collar that's 20 inches, which is what this is, and 6 inches wide. Okay, I need sleeves that are going to be 23 inches wide, or long, I forget which one's which. I need 2 sleeves, so I gotta cut another one. And then I need a placket that's maybe 3 inches wide. It only needs to be 19 inches long. I'm going to leave it to 20. Well, you know what? Now let's cut off an inch. It's not a big deal. And then I need 2 cuffs, 10 inches by 4 inches. So I'm just going to take this in half. So I only need one width of it, basically. And then this will be extra. I'm going to start with sewing up the sleeves. Rhett has requested that this shirt be hand sewn, because apparently most shirts were hand sewn. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with a running stitch, just as is a sleeve. And I left a little space at the bottom so that we can put a cuff on, and he can put the cuffs on and off. And we're going to fell the seam as well. Just because even though this is a selvage, the other side is not a selvage. Alright, now I gotta get this ready to be felled. And just do a little whip stitch. And that just holds the seam over, or the selvage over, so that it hides the raw edge. And then from the front side, you see a little bit of that stitching, but not very much. Now we're also going to hem this little placket here. It's a very narrow hem. I'll do the same on the other side with the selvage. Alright, with those all done, we're going to run a roll of gathering thread. We're going to need to attach the cuff next. Alright, let's put on a cuff. Turn under the edges slightly. Right sides together. Got to evenly distribute the gathers so there's not one spot with all the gathers and some spots that don't look like they're gathered at all. Want to make sure that's all nice and even. And now we get the back stitch. This is where that tiny plaid really comes in handy because it's really easy to see exactly where I need to stitch. You know, Rhett offered to help, and I was going to do this whole thing by myself. I might have him do the buttonholes, because he doesn't mind them and I do. It sounds like a good use of his skills. Alright, flip this cup over. Also notice I'm not using a thread that matches the fabric. I only use, I guess brown would have been the closest that I actually have to this, but I didn't feel like going to get it. But when you actually take tiny stitches and you're careful with it, you won't be able to tell from the finished garment. Like, you gotta look real close to see that that doesn't match exactly. And for about 98% of my sewing, I don't believe there's any reason to have any other colors other than white, black, brown, gray. There's just, I can get just about everything I want done. I can get it done with those colors. Alright, let's prep this actual shirt here. So, we start showing on the shoulder seams. What I just measured the other shirt, it's about 7.5 inches over. I don't know if that's for like most shirts or if that's just for Rhett's body. I don't know. I'm just going off the one that I know fits him. So I'm going to run and fell across here. So run it, fell it. Then I left a space for the armhole for the sleeve, and I'm going to sew, or run and fell here. Then I left a little slit open at the bottom. Now, because neither one of these are a selvage, I am going to slit down just a tad, and I'm going to cut half of this off on the back side. This just makes it a little less bulky. And now we get to fell it. And again, I'll do the same thing at the sides. And the slits on the bottom will need to be hemmed just like we did the slits on the sleeve. At which point I'll be ready to put in the sleeves. Alright, very quick adjustment. So Rhett came home and I didn't know I was using the wrong shirt to modify this one off of. So apparently there's a different shirt that this one's meant to replace, and he needs that exact pattern with this fabric. Luckily, the only real difference, that one was pieced a lot, so he said, don't worry about the piecing. But the only real difference is that the sleeves have gussets in them. So we're going to add some gussets. They're just 4.5 inch gussets, which the last one did not use gussets. Because we're going to fill this and cut part of this a little bit off. After this, we're putting the sleeves into the arm side. And then I think we'll just go ahead and hem it before we work on the neckline. Okay, so I have the ends of the sleeve inside, and there's the gusset and all that. So we're going to run and fill this seam as well, if I understand it correctly. Just based on the what the other one looks like. Also, I'm sorry if you're hearing the fan in the background. It is like 80-something degrees in this house right now. Our AC does not work very well, and it's over 105 outside today. So yeah, this is for survival. I apologize if there's background noise. Okay, this side is going to be the one that gets cut, so I can fell it. Yeah, we're going to fell this exactly the same way we've been felling all the other seams. And this is the step where it really starts looking at it like a shirt, because you know, once you have sleeves in there, it starts to take shape. The left placket's where the buttonholes go, right? Okay, I'm getting that one done so you can do the buttonholes on this too after you do the sleeve. And I'm gonna go make dinner while you do that. Alright, next step is that we are putting on this placket here. So this goes in the front on both the left and the right side instead of just the left side as it was in the other shirt. So again, a little bit different. But it's exactly half the size of the other placket, so we just cut it in half and it worked perfectly. So it's just running stitch down, and I'll fold it over in a second. Now it's time to fold it over. Put in those raw edges, so this is now the front of the shirt. So yes, you get to see it from the front. So yeah, you turn things towards the front, which is opposite of how I'm used to doing it. That's just running stitch down to attach it, and I'm going to do a running stitch on the other side as well. And then I'm going to hand it off to Rhett to do the buttonholes. Alright, now that the placket's been put in and the buttonholes, and then it's just buttons and hemming, if I remember correctly. So yeah, much narrower collar too. Cut that down as well. I already have this thread attached, so I'm going to go ahead and sew this up. There's one more buttonhole that needs to go on the top of this collar, so Brett's waiting for me to finish this so he can do that last buttonhole. So this is going to work just the same way as all the other stitching we've been doing has worked. I'm going to fold over, not really a narrow hem, but you know, a smaller hem. Such a marine hem, we're sewing it. The whip stitches again, just as before. Right. Now it's just the top buttons to sew on. I sewed the sleeve ones, just not these. I'm hoping there's enough decent spots in this old shirt that I can cut it up and do something with it. We got the shirt done.
Fabric's been waiting about 6 years.
Yep. So it actually didn't take very long. When I started asking you questions about it, like maybe 3 o'clock yesterday.
Yeah.
And then I started around 4. Worked for a while. You came home. I made dinner while you did buttonholes. Worked on a little bit more. And I had like maybe 10 minutes of work this morning because I didn't get done.
Turned out great.
And it's all hands on.
Thanks, dear.
Of course. Yeah. I'm happy with it because I actually did more work with it this time. So last time you had to cut it out. You had to show me each and every step. And you pinned everything for me. And the only thing you did on this shirt was mark the placket for me and do the buttonholes. So I'm getting better.
Keep up the good work.
I like that color, actually. Yes, thank you so much for joining me today as we made our man's 1860s shirt. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell notification so you're notified anytime I upload a new video. And as always, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you back here in the next video.